Well, Ali, how's it going today, sir? I can hear you feverishly typing away to our guest, Suhail, today. But before he comes on, how are you?
Yeah, all good, thanks. I was just saying to you, I'll just turn off the heater now. It's freezing, or as I'm learning the lingo, it's Baltic here, Robert.
It's Baltic, yeah, it's Baltic. For sure, it really. There's no doubt about it. We were just talking the other day. I think it was was it Friday night? I think it was, and like the temperature had really just dipped a terrible number of octaves. Normally, I say it's dipped one octave or an octave, but it's definitely dipped a number of octaves
Yeah.
over the last sort of, and pretty quickly as well. We're definitely in December, dude.
Yeah, I think it was that Friday where I was like, it became apparent that I could actually, you can feel cold. I think I actually saw cold as I was
Mm.
walking around, just walking back from the office. I could see cold. Like if I took a picture and sent it to someone, they'd be like, "Wow, that looks cold."
Yeah, I can now see cold. I tell you, that's a hell of a pair of glasses you've got, Ollie.
Yeah.
So, I yeah, it's great again to be on 123 call and being able to invite Sahil on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to invite Sahil to come in as a co-host, and then I'm sure Sahil will have his camera on and everything else. But how are you doing, Sahil? Are you well, sir?
Yes, I'm good. How are you, Ricky?
I am very good. I'm very good, and I've
Hi,
got
Ali.
Ali here as well.
How's it
Okay.
going, Sahil? I know we spoke recently, so it feels like we're having weekly chats. So it's good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah, so we are having very good sessions for those researching products. So yeah, really excited about.
Sahil, have you been using an inordinate amount of Mr. Razul's time? Have you?
Yeah, it looks like.
That's good. It's always, as I always say, always ask for forgiveness, never ask for permission.
Okay.
That's definitely the way.
Well, with
And
the amount of products that Sahil's sourcing, I know that he is definitely spending a good amount of time researching and finding some great products because I think the vast majority of those products, it they were all approved and we're actively sourcing for them. So they're actually really exciting. And it was great to have a chat and look at kind of different bonuses ideas as well. So it's I really enjoy those calls.
yeah, it's going to be great for Sahal's business going into 2024, with a number of new items coming in to support the existing items inside the business. So, being able to look at some expectations, at many a times, I think a lot of people kind of get confused with, entitlement or expectation. But whenever you have these products coming into the business, maybe end of Q1, start of Q2, 2024, you're certainly entitled to have an expectation, not expecting to have an entitlement. But that will be absolutely brilliant to look at, some aims, targets, and things for the business here.
Yeah.
And I know that normally what we do is before we kind of click the go live button, but that was on us today. We hadn't got you set up as a co-host. We normally just like have a little couple of minutes chat, and we sort of say, look, don't tell us any of your questions that you want to discuss. Here's how this is going to operate. But it's nice and fresh, Sahil. So basically, as we say, like in a 1, 2, 3 call, there's one of you, there's two of us, and you've got three questions, sir. So before you get into question number one, maybe you just like to give everybody on the call just a little bit of background. We don't need to go into whenever you were 6 years old and fell off your bicycle and hurt your knee, but just a little bit of background into the man Sahel.
Okay, so I have joined Superhero actually in 2020, in beginning of 2020. That was my first introduction. That was in February, I think, and that was the time I bought that first course for the PL. And but first 6 months was not really very good because I was juggling different things altogether, trying to catch all the rabbits. But but then I learned that no, this is not the way. I couldn't reach anywhere. So then that was a time you have started one new program for like I think advanced or something like that. Yeah. So that program I have joined and try to concentrate on that PL business. And in August, actually, I have incorporated my company here in Canada, in Ontario. And yeah, so a couple of months, like from August to December, it was like learning, because I just start like most of the people here, like from the scratch. Like I don't have any idea like what's going on. But then I saw your videos and things and learned from you guys, and able to launch my first product in January 2021. And then since I want to like accelerate those products, like launching quickly. Then in next 3 months, like in by April 2021, I have launched 3 more products. So those were a total 4 products I have launched by April 2021. So 21 was not really, I mean, it was good and not very good, in a way that those out of 4 products, 2 of I can say 3 of them went bit well, like generating some profit. One was like a complete failure, like it actually I had a loss on that product, and I just get rid of that product and that first test inventory in 3 or 4 months back only. So that was a product, it took too much time to sell, and so no profit. But those 3 products, then I just learned that 2 of them are not really giving me good profit. So it was like eaten up only mainly by PPC. So then I decided to just not reorder them once again, and keep on continuing one product which is really giving a good good profit. Like ROI is almost more than 100%. So that is a good product. So yeah, so that product is now continue. The only thing is right now with that is that this product is, I mean, the PPC cost is very high. So if we go through that, our Opus report right now, I'm not sure how can I share that file with you, or maybe you can access that file.
Yeah, I can access the file, Sahal, if you have it open as well. Ali, I'm not sure if you can access that file if I give you Sahal's reference number.
Yeah, so that is, I think, SK. Just a moment. Let me give you the reference number, please. Just a moment. I think SK 139 or something. I haven't written somewhere.
Yep, I've got it here, Sahil.
Yeah, great.
Okay, and what product are we in? So basically what we're saying there is, of the original 4 items, one had a small loss, let's say, or a loss, was kind of sold out. You got back what you could for it. You could then reinvest it. 2 of the other products did make a profit, but just not enough of a profit to be able to go on further with it. But you got your funds back and a little bit of profit. And then 1 item was very, very profitable, let's say, at around 100%, which is the one we're going to talk about. And from an original amount of 4 products to have, I don't like using the word failure too much, because I think other people kind of lead into it. But success is made up from a lot of failures, and to have 1, as I say, inverted commas, failure out of a 4 initial batch so soon is actually quite good, whenever you kind of look at it. And even though 2 of the other products you weren't reordering, you could never describe them as a failure. They did make a little bit of money, not something you're going to go on forward with. And the other product is an ongoing success, I guess you'd say, or at least something that's adding to the overall success of your business. So this one that we're talking about, is this the only one that you have inside Opus at the minute, which you have inside PCS?
Yeah, so this is the only product right now I have. My other exchange product is is already, I think, reached to US port. So it would be like maybe next 1 to 2 weeks. It will be
Cool.
coming to the.
Okay, great. So this is the one that ends in a the SKU kind of ends in like a BK01, right?
Yeah.
And what we've got inside here is we've got a data of S&T and PPC for about the last 7 to 8 terms. Since term 200, we've got data in here from. And would you describe this product, Sohail, as in any way, shape, or form seasonal, or does it have any seasonality?
Yes, it has a seasonality. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And when would you say that seasonality is or is not? If it's got an anti-season.
Yeah. So it is seasonal in summer mostly.
Okay.
So starting from let's say February end to March, starting from there up to September usually.
Okay, so it's got that kind of 6 months seasonality. Is it more seasonal in like June, July, August than March, April, May, or pretty much same?
It's more seasonal. Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty much it's more seasonal. So the spike goes up. Okay,
correct.
And then down into the winter months, let's say it comes down to its lowest.
Correct. 100%. Yeah.
So really, what we're dealing with then is right around this particular time, we're kind of coming into its low season, and we have been just around term 200. We're kind of coming out, so that's kind of like a good area. September being not a bad area for us. So your data starts off with sessions at 503 for term 200, and then works its way down a little bit into the October period around about the mid 300s, but then has a spike back up again at the start of November to 458, and then back down over the last 4 weeks to the mid 200s. Okay, so I think what we could say, Ali, there, like without a shadow of a doubt, sessional is not an issue here, right?
No, I'd want to know where those sessions are coming from, if the majority of them are PPC or if they're going to be organic. But overall, I mean, looking at a three-figure session, starting quite high, and then having a bit of a kind of wave. But I mean, I'm not really seeing this as a negative in terms of sessions overall.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like if you look towards what we've got as September, if we're looking towards kind of back around to the peak of its seasonality next year, we should be targeting 4 digits. There's no reason why we cannot have 1,000 sessions here if everything else was according to plan. So, Ali, then if we look down into the unit session percentage, what we've got around that September time is mid 3, so like 3.5. October 4, November, kind of like an average of about 6%. And then the most recent data towards the end of November, just touching the sort of 5.5 kind of area. So with yourself there wouldn't be huge concern, I'm sure, but a little bit there as what you would say is we got to kind of work out where that's coming from. Would that be right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we definitely have established a base USP. We can see that. But yeah, I mean, there's potential, but then we'd want to see where those USPs are coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've got is then what we have inside the column R, we have the PPC spend. So we can see it's around 200 to start with, starts to come down, and it's now kind of around about half of that. Now, there's one thing that I just want to go and grab here because I want to make sure that we've got an accurate picture on that column V. So let me just go in here and put that in.
Yeah, can we share that report in the screen?
Yes, we can indeed, sir. We can indeed. I just need to do one little thing here. I don't know why that's not. Sorry, 1 second. So yeah, I just need to move across to another tab. Here, maybe Ali, you can see that report, can't you?
Yep.
Maybe just talk us down through the PPC clicks, and then obviously in comparison to the overall clicks, or sorry, sessions, just so we can see the that one area while I work on fixing this column V.
Yeah, so kind of going back to 200, we've got 0 on the clicks on the PPC side, so I'm not sure if that was running at that time, but 503 on the organic sessions. Then term 201 on the PPC side, we've got 246 versus 230 on the organic. Term 202, 227 on the PPC and 140 on the organic. So we're kind of seeing a little bit of a level playing field. Although the last 3 terms, it looks that the organic sessions has slightly outperformed the PPC.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting too if we look at the PPC conversion, which I've just altered there. You're gonna. It's really very, very clear that I tend to sort of look at this and go, I wonder, is there a little bit of data confusion in terms of the reliability of the data? Because if we go into the organic area, we'll see that we've got some negative sales units, which is an interesting view, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing negative on the organic sales units, but also the organic USP.
Yeah, which is obviously coming from the from that data. That would be a bit interesting. I'd really want to have a deep dive in to make sure that was accurate.
Yep.
So, yeah, what I can do, let me just see if I can then just share up my screen here. So you want me to share this up, Sahel? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just bring that report out of this window so that we can share the window. And I'm sorry, I'm just operating on my laptop today, so I'm going a little bit slower than usual. I don't have about 6 screens in front of me to be able to do all this nice and easily. And so there we go. You should see that. You see that, Sahel? Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're down in this area here. So like we said, we're starting off, and I'll tell you what I'll actually do as well while I'm in here, as this was a bit of a regular request, is to freeze the rows for people. So let me just do that. Freeze. There we go. Okay, so let's scroll that down, and here's the PPC spend. So we can see this in here.
Yeah.
Coming down a little bit, the PPC units. Now, obviously, this is it's almost going in tandem, right? Because if we look at this, we look at the sessions, right? We're going in tandem here down. So if we're double up here than what we were, we're double the spend up here. And here's where I think there's maybe a little bit of data confusion, which I think we should dig into. And if we've only got these kind of 6 or 7 sets of drop files, we might want to go through, delete them out, and reset the boundaries here, because what I'm seeing is here 503, but we've got no PPC spend. That doesn't make sense in what we're looking at. Also, then, having -2 organic units, -5, -4, that does not make a lot of sense. So we sold 16 PPC units, but actually only 12 overall. So that's, I think there's a little bit of confusion in the data. But that being said, we can certainly see that regardless of that data being a little bit skewy, PPC is obviously generating the vast majority of this product's performance in terms of clicks and sessions. But I would want to come back around and have a look at that, because if this last row of data as well, Sohail, is to be believed, I think is what I would say. What we're starting to see is we're starting to see organic sales. Okay, they're starting to come through. And one area in here that I would be keen to look at is just making sure that we have that all of our PPC terms are performing to a level that we're happy with. Okay, and that would just be a little bit of a deep dive. So that's certainly something that we can put some time on the clock as a prize for you coming on and burying your soul today with us. And just to go in, dig into your campaign, show you a little bit around, just a little bit of what I would call like housekeeping or gardening, like taking the weeds out of a PPC campaign. There will be some in there, even though it is performing, but I think we should be able to get this spend down. The other thing that we need to look at is we just need to look at our PCS area. It looks like we don't have anything in here inside the RVF columns. Would that be accurate?
And yeah, those folders are all filled actually. I have uploaded all the files, but for some reason it's not appearing here.
No problem. Do you mind if I take a little look at it here on the call?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So pretend you don't see what I'm doing here, because we don't want people messing about inside this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you've got something in there. Yeah, we'll take a little look at this for you just to make sure that there's not a little bit of a data skew, and then we'll be able to compare like for like. What I want to see is, say if we've got an RVF in here of 1950, okay, then what we're looking at is calculating out this gross profit and then the net profit. Because if we've got that 1950, then we've got 12 sales in here. So 12 sales is $234 on this product as an RVF, and a landed cost of $960. So we're probably talking about $120 of profit, but we've got 104 in here in terms of our PPC. So what we've got to do with this is we've got to get this product more organic, and bringing more and more organic sales in, because these sales here, these seven sales units are technically costing us $14.87 per sale, right? So actually, we'd be better off without them, right? Which is a bit of a weird one, right? But they're just costing us too much. So this is the area that we've got to dig into with you in order to get this product as profitable as possible. Is there anything else on this that you'd like to have a look at, or would you like to move on to another question, Sohail?
Yeah, so just one question, like this buy box, if you see the buy box, it is less than 95%. So just my question is, should I be worried about it, or like in one instance?
Yeah, it's getting towards that area. Now, the one thing that I would do is whenever it gets to that sort of between 90 to 95 area, is I just go in and check to make sure that there's nobody on the listing. I very much doubt there is, right? And my reasoning is this: it's likely to be a foreign customer. So, for example, if you're in the United States and I find your product on Google or something like that, and I click it, being from the United Kingdom, I will get your listing page, but the buy box will actually not be there for me because I'm a foreigner, okay? With a foreign IP, all of those things. So therefore, I would create a session on your product, But I would also create a 0% buy box on that session. So that's likely to be what it is. But a 2-minute look at your listing will tell you if there's anything wrong there. And there's another thing that would tell me that we just need to dig into the data. Buy box percentage, 195%. That can't be, right? So there's something just not right. So I think what we'll maybe do is a bit of a re-go at this. Maybe take the data away, make sure that your data is correct. I'm not saying that it's you. I'm not saying that it's us, but it's one of the two of us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you that question for free. So that was an easy one.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
cool. So what would you like to move on to, sir?
Yeah. So the other thing is like this. There is a single unit percentage in the same report, and that is coming like maybe 85 or something. So my question is like, at what percentage minimum we should think about having a pack of 2 or whatever, like more than one?
Around, whenever I sort of look at a single unit percentage, anywhere in the lower of sort of 70% would give me cause to think about, is this something that I'd like to do in terms of a multi-pack? Now, the one thing that we've got to be careful about multi-pack, a few things we've got to be careful about multi-pack is, number one, we've got to make sure that the multi-pack is good for us, right? So therefore, what we make in terms of a saving, because they're together in one package, right? Okay. Albeit that the weight is doubled, right? So the FBA fee is likely to go up, right? But we don't want the FBA fee to double, okay? Because it also then, on the second point, has to be good for the customer, okay? There is no point you having a $30 item and then charging $60 for your double pack, right? It would have to be like 55. So we got to kind of marry those two things up, as well as the market. Now, what we are trying to do with a multi-pack is sort of corner the market a little bit, take up more of the shelf space. And if the data is telling us that people do buy 2, that means they're looking for 2, especially on our products, right? You know, a lot of the products that we sell, once they get to the listing, they don't think, do you know what? Actually, I could do with another one of these, right? They've already made up that decision that they're gonna buy 2, or most of the time anyway. So therefore, they may even be looking for 2. So therefore, seeing 2 is going to logically attract them in their eyes whenever they see 2 on a page or 2-pack, boom. So therefore, we're expecting to get less and less sessions on a multi-pack, right? But we're expecting to get quite a high unit session percentage.
Okay.
And then we're taking a lot more of the shelf space. The other piece that we do need to look after is, if we're getting a lot of doubles and trebles on a listing, it is improving our unit session percentage in our single pack. Now, if we move into a double pack, we just got to be a little bit aware that we might lose some of that. So therefore, if we're operating with an already low USP on a single pack, it may not be the best option as of right now. So there's no one size fits all answer there. You got to kind of weigh up the different things. The easiest thing to do, I think, Ali, would be that when somebody has that sort of trigger point set off, that they speak with us, and then we could fill in the blanks for them on a case-by-case basis. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that sounds great, because then we can take a look at all the data, all of the information, and then piece something together as well. Because as you said, it's not always a no-brainer to go with a multi-pack. There's a few things to bear in mind. You know, prime example was the unit session percentage scenario. You know, if your USP is already quite low, you kind of need those multi-buy purchases now and again to up that USP.
Yeah, I think for me, you know, looking at this particular product, Sohail, what I would want to be moving towards is, I'd want to be moving towards, you know, about a 60-40 split on sales in favor of PPC for now. So 60% of your sales coming from PPC, to 40% of your sales coming into or organic. And that's only because of where you are right now, right? That's not an ideal situation across the board, all right? But where you are at the minute, where I feel it's closer to 100% on PPC, I want to try and move that down to around 60%. It's not that we want to give away sales. We just want the ratios to be slightly different. So inside, between now and even the start of your season, or maybe just slightly into the season, like a Q1 target on this product for you would be to get that PPC ratio down to about 60% and 40% or organic. I think too, once we get the proper data in place, I've no reason to doubt the PPC spend column. That looks accurate or accurate enough for us to make a decision. Is we've got to try and drive that spend down, right? I feel like on this current set of data, what we've got is we've got like a third, around about a third, or maybe even closer to a half of our sales is PPC spend. So on this data, you got like $862 of spend. You've got like 2,700 of sales. I think there's a little bit of an out of whackness on the data of that one column not showing us. So I would say we're probably sitting at around 40%, right, in terms of our spend versus our sales. That needs to come down, right? That needs to come down. It needs to come down quite drastically. But if we could aim to get that spend under control and get it down, I would like to see it at around 15%, right, inside Q1, right? Now, that would not be the end goal, right? It would be like a midterm goal for you inside Q1. But that's, for me, that's where we need to go.
Okay, great.
Good. What are we like on stock of this item? Sahal, do we have enough stock that's going to last us right now, or anything coming in? Because remember, if we haven't got an order on before, the next 2 weeks, we're not going to see stock until about May. So do we have enough in stock or on the water to last us until May?
Yeah. So I have done two things actually. So what I have done, because my stock was getting low, so I have ordered it from my existing supplier, but not too much quantity. So that will be coming like so it is already ready. I got the information from my supplier, and I already placed that order from our SHF inventory. So that means everything is like all the SR and everything is created. So maybe within next 1 week, it should be on board in the ship. So I'm expecting within next 1 month, it should be in our inventory.
Fingers crossed. I think what we'll do is we should check back in on this, Ali, around the sort of mid-March point, just so what we can do is we can get the stock, get a good look at it, because there are going to be some stock reports coming down the line for everybody. I know some people have already got it because I talked about it the other day, and I've shared that out with a few people, and I said, if you've got your PCS, you got your intakes forms, you've got this sort of scenario. Once we fix your Opus together, whether it's new data from yourself or whether it's us going back in and making sure it's correct, then we'll be able to get you the stock reports. And I would say around mid-March, we just want to make sure that we've got that, we're in stock, because running out of stock, Amazon never really likes it.
And second thing is this same product actually I have discussed with Ali. So I'm also sourcing it from PP from our source actually I think that is we are already working on it. So still I haven't yet got the numbers, but hopefully by this week or next week we'll have some numbers. So we'll be ordering from there as well. So.
Excellent. Well, that puts us in good stand, for that sort of March period. If we've got our ducks in a row, and then we can get a look at the stock, if/when we need to place that, then we've got everything kind of done. So we're doing some forward work. So,
Yeah.
Sahal, just before we go into your last question, guys, just inside the chat box, let me know what we're talking about here today. Does that make sense? You know, can you see what we're looking at? Can you see what we're analyzing? And it's something for me that I feel, Ali, we've got to go into this more collectively as a group. People have obviously got to share more data with us, like Suhail's done, but also then going in and explaining what we're looking at. Because for me, it's very, very logical, but we want to make it really, really simple for people so that every single person understands.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's the ability now to see all of this data in one place, you know, is a total game changer. I've said this multiple times, that if only I had this at my fingertips in the first year of doing this, you know, it really does paint a picture as to what's going on in your business, allowing you to learn and tweak certain things to improve.
Yeah, and whenever you've got the data in front of you, you know, if you don't have it, you're completely blind. You know, you can imagine if Suhail did not have his data here for us, you know, he'd be trying to talk through different things. It'd be very, very difficult to give any kind of answers or any kind of insight. And also, if Suhail missed something and didn't tell us about it, well, then we can't give any information. Whereas we're actually able to see maybe beyond the question, right? We're actually able to see other things that he's put in for us, and we're able then to guide Suhail in an unknown forum. So it's not just a known unknown. There's actually an unknown that we can actually see and then put that across. So I really do appreciate you putting that data in for us, Suhail.
Yeah.
So what would you like to end the call on today, sir? What's the big burning question that you've got, or maybe you've already answered, maybe you've already asked that one?
No, I think the main question was that high A cost, and is that PPC cost actually that like most of the people, it has really, I mean, eaten up a lot of profit. So like for me, I want to focus more on PPC, because what is happening in my last 3-4 products and whatever the experience I have, and I think you guys have much more experience. But what I learned that getting the product and things, everything is 100%. But if PPC is not really in our control, then I'm not gonna make any money. Like in this case, this is a very classic case that I have a POI of 100%, but still I'm not making really good money over here. I mean, I have made some money, but for some terms, if we saw that those Opus report, in some terms, I'm not really making much money. So I have to got really good control on my PPC, which I'm afraid I don't have yet. I don't have that much skill. So that is my main focus for 2024. Beside putting more products, I have to focus more on the PPC. So I think
there's kind of, you know, I sort of look at this and say that there's two elements, right, which are, I wouldn't say they're outside of our control, right, but what they are is they have been outside of people's focus, right. One is storage, okay, because especially on the first order, right? Whenever you bring in, let's say, 500 units of something, you do not know how long that it's going to be sitting there for. Now, you can estimate, you can calculate, you can forecast, you can do all of these wonderful things, and you should do that, right? Because you know its size, you know an expected sell-through rate, therefore you can calculate out your storage, right? Now, storage is storage. It can't go any higher than your forecast, kind of, because it's limited, right? It can't. The 2 units cannot suddenly do something and make another unit, right? They cannot procreate in a warehouse, right, and make more. But the other thing is certainly pay-per-click, right? And it's outside of our COGS, much like storage. So therefore, we do have to keep a very close eye on it. We've got to keep a focus on it, and we've got to have a plan for it, which in the way that we do everything, the way that myself and Ali have done things, is we always make sure that we launch without it, right? We launch without it. because we've got to find what that base unit session percentage is. Okay, when we have that base unit session percentage, then it turns on a lot of lights for us, because we know what we can invest or spend, whatever way you want to put it, in PPC, right? But without that base unit session percentage, we're going into PPC blind. And then what happens is PPC gets out of control. People then focus on the spend column, which is kind of the wrong column to focus on, right? It should actually be more on the performance column. But because they're focusing on the spend column, then they start trying to chop away at it. So they go after the biggest spend words, which may be actually performing, but there was actually no homework done in the first place. So if we know that this product here has got a profitability of, say, $10, and we know what we're looking for, and we know what that keyword bid is, well, if we've got a base of 10% and you've got a $1 bid, well, the PPC, if that is accurate, then it's just going to break even, right? So therefore, we can rule that keyword out very, very quickly. Or can we pick it up less expensively and these sorts of things? But without that base unit session percentage, that really is the missing piece of the puzzle. And we've definitely seen that, Ali, and I think a lot of people are starting to see it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just watching on some of the recordings on the recent Easy PPC, and I definitely recommend anybody to, even if you're not launching a product with PPC, as we recommend, we launch with patience rather than launching with PPC. Definitely something to
patience, persistence, control, Ali.
There we go. I think we need to rebrand it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things that I think, because and coming back to what you were saying, Sahil, it's like upskilling yourself in this area, because it's such a vast area and there's so many different kind of things to look at, different pieces of information that you can pull from certain reports and also the campaign manager. It can almost seem quite intimidating. So I'd recommend watching and rewatching some of these streams that Robert's put on, just to upskill yourself and to really glean that 80-20, that Pareto principle of what's the 20% of effort that will lead to 80% of the return. So absolutely. I think I answered your question.
Yeah, no, sure. Great advice, Ali. And also I think in terms of, I said that I'd jump on with Sahil about this particular product in terms of weeding the PPC because of where it currently is, which is been launched with PPC and all of the rest. What I'd also like to do, Sahil, is when is your next product, your latest product, going to sort of hit the shelves? When are we expecting to see that?
So most probably in next 2 weeks, I believe.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Superb. So probably pre-Christmas then?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Great.
So what that will do is, fingers crossed that over that Christmas period, it can be a bit of a down period, people being off, and it's not really a major purchasing place. But when we establish a unit session percentage, okay, so starting to get some of the data in for the first 2 to 3 terms, if we can establish a base unit session percentage, what I will do with you as a second prize is I'm going to rope he's over there, sorry, Mr. Razul here, and myself will jump on to a private call with you, and we'll go down through that specific product as a great example for you to take that call for other products in the future, as to when do we start PPC, how do we start it, and what are we looking for? Because when we have that base unit session percentage, all of the other formulas come to light. Right? We've got enough information at that point that we can start plotting those different things out. So for coming on to a 1, 2, 3 call, I'd like to offer you that, sir, and we'll do that early in the new year. Fingers crossed we get a base USP. You can stay in touch with us, let us know if that's happening. And of course, keep on reporting is another important one on top of what Ali's talking about there on PPC. We'll also reach out about just making sure that this data is correct. We'll get that updated for you ASAP if it's on our side, or will request some files, new files from you if it's on your side, sir. So thank you so much for joining us today. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your questions and sharing a screen. Ali, I will leave it to you to see us all out.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody who's watching for joining us on this call. Also, thank you as well, Sahil. It was great talking to you as always. And also, I've got some good updates in terms of those products that we're sourcing for you as well.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time. And it's been really a very, very good session actually for me. And I'm looking forward to it, to our new products with Ali and launching those PPCs.
Sounds good, Sahil. We'll maybe see you on another 123 call in the future as well. And you'll have another update for everybody inside the group. So thanks again. Thanks for everybody for joining us, or if you're joining us on the replay. I hope you enjoyed everything that we covered today. And we will potentially see everybody tonight for something very, very interesting and very, very hush hush. See you later, guys.
Yeah, see you. Thank you. Bye.